Hello, boys and girls. This week we are going to be learning about the verb be in helping verbs. Today our focus is going to be on the verb be, or also we may call it to be. Thinking question. What is the verb be? Be is an irregular verb that does not follow the normal pattern of regular verbs. Regular verbs in the past tense may end in, like we add the suffix ed. In the present tense, it either is just the verb itself or it'll have an S after it for singular subjects. Sometimes the verb will add the suffix ing or the word will in front of it to tell the tense of the verb, but that is not the case with the verb to be. It is irregular, which means not regular, and so we actually use this verb form we use several different, probably all of the different forms of it in the course of the day. We just were maybe not really aware of what it was until now, but we need to know what it is. The verbs am, is, are, was, and were are forms of the verb be. And I know that we use these on a regular basis every day, many times a day. And so you probably look at the word be and you think that it doesn't really have anything in common with these words. And by looking at them, you're correct. But it is important to know that these are forms of the verb to be. For singular nouns, which is one, such as mom, we will say mom is happy for the past tense or for the present tense. For the past tense, we would say mom was happy. Those go together. So singular noun can also be dad or cat, dog, just any kind of noun that is just one thing. Pencil, the pencil is broken. That would be a singular noun in which we would use is. We also use is and was for the pronouns he, she, or it. He is happy, she is happy, it is happy. Or in the past tense, he was happy, she was happy, it was happy. Plural nouns are more than one. And so for plural nouns, we use are for the present tense and were for the past tense. So this could be the girls are shopping. So in that sense, the girls is plural. So we use are for the present tense. The girls were shopping. We use the form were for past tense. We also use the words are and were, the forms of the verb to be are and were, when we use the pronouns you, we, or they. You were shopping, we were shopping, they were shopping. It just kind of actually sounds natural to us because we learned to speak this way from our parents. I am happy, I was happy. Am is only used with the pronoun I for the verb to be, and was is the past tense that we use here. And we also use was for he, she, and it, and we use we use was for the pronoun I also. Let's look at some examples. Miss Thompson was our teacher last year. We always ask ourselves, what is the subject of the sentence to decide which form of the verb to use. Miss Thompson is singular, and so we use was because it's also in the past tense. We were interested in her book on the Arctic. For the pronoun we use were for the past tense. One large desert is in Africa. Here, desert is a singular subject, and it's in the present tense, so that is why we use is. I am 9 years old. This is present tense, and so we use the form of to be am to go with I. Julia and Sarah are interested in dance. Julia and Sarah would be a plural subject because it's two girls. Are is the form of the verb that we use for plural subjects in the present tense. Let's practice. Today on your quizzes, you are going to practice this same skill of being able to write or choose the correct form of the verb to be that completes the sentence correctly. My sentence project blank finished. My science project is finished. Project is singular. We use the form of the verb to be is. Miss Johnson was happy that I finished. Miss Johnson is singular. This is in the past tense because I see the word finished there. It ends in ed, which means this took place in the past. Leaves blank part of my project. Leaves is plural. So we use was with singular and we use were with plural. So that is why we are going to use were. And it actually just sounds correct to us if we read it out loud, it does sound correct because it is. Leaves were part of our project or part of my project. They were fun for him to draw. Again, we have they, and they is plural, and so we have to use the form of the verb were. Mike's project, blank, also finished. Again, we have the subject project, and it is singular, and so we use is. Mike's project is also finished. Forest animals, blank, in his project. Forest animals, animals is plural, so plural subject, and so we have to use are because is we use for singular subjects. Forest animals are in his project. So if you just read these sentences, you can tell that they just make sense as far as just our everyday speech. These are what you have heard. The common ones to get mistaken in our speech are was and were. So make sure you pay special attention to that. We use was for singular subjects and we use were for plural subjects. Today you're going to practice this on the quizzes. Make sure to try to get at least between an 80% and 100%. You want to make sure you are trying to get as much mastery as possible to practice for your test that will be on Friday.